Okay, so tell us about your journey and how you got to this point of waiting for a liver.
Okay.
You don't have to start from all the way from the beginning, but
Because it goes way back.
yeah.
I'll just start with the liver portion of it, but I have several autoimmune disorders, and in 2002 I was diagnosed with primary biliary cirrhosis stage 3, and I actually did very well for several years. I, continued working 50, 60 hours a week with no problems. I took all the meds that were prescribed and went and had my labs done regularly and just kept on trucking. We just kept on moving forward with life and just accepted that and pushed through. Of course, there's symptoms with every illness, but I always felt like I could push through anything, and we did. And then in early 2010, probably started late 2009, started losing weight and kind of unexplained. Had a regular appointment with my hepatologist at that point in Louisiana. He's since moved off, but went to see him and kind of talked to him about the increased fatigue, and my labs were up, but they weren't up any more than my liver enzymes weren't elevated any more than they had been for years at that point. And we just probably agreed that the weight loss was a good thing. So he just increased my multivitamins, and we moved forward. And then within the next several weeks, became much sicker, getting short of breath, doing small activities, just making the bed or taking a shower. When I'm very active, and we have horses, or had horses. Right now they're not at the house because we can't really care for them with me and all that's going on. But just constantly going with the kid. We were very busy and working all the time. And I was also caring for my mother at the time, who was sick with Huntington's disease. But I continued to decline, lots of nausea and vomiting, more weight loss. I ended up losing, at the time, I think I lost about 30 pounds. I've lost 40 so far. But ended up, long story short, went in to see my diabetes doctor. I didn't have a primary doctor. I had gone to the MEA after work at night a couple of times, and just never thought it was my liver because I just had that checked.
Yeah.
And when I went for my diabetes checkup, that's when he looked at my labs, and he was like, you're in liver failure. And ended up going back to Tulane, and they did another liver biopsy and realized that I was diagnosed with a second autoimmune disorder of the liver. It's called autoimmune hepatitis overlap syndrome with the primary biliary cirrhosis. And at that point, my liver had progressed. There's only 4 stages, and I'd been in stage 3 since 2002. So here we are, stage 4. I've tried multiple medication trials with methotrexate, prednisone, just numerous things that have not, Imuran, have not been I have not been responsive to any of those. And we just, at this point, just go to the doctor, every month and get labs. My doctor has told me that there's really nothing he can do to improve my liver at this point, and that the medications are not working. So pretty much just deal with the symptoms, which entails taking lots of medicines a day. I was counting them earlier to see how many pills. They're not 41 different medicines, but 41 different pills every day, and sometimes more depending on the meds I take as needed, and depending on how much problems I'm having with my fluid. And then there's some liquid medicine that I have to take called lactulose that helps decrease the toxins that your liver would normally get rid of for you. It just doesn't happen when you have cirrhosis. But you don't see a lot of that laying around my house. I kind of keep everything hidden. I'm kind of funny about that. I don't like for this to look like a sick house. So we keep everything in cabinets, and I've got a chart to remind me to take my medicines hanging in the cabinet. I sleep on a wedge pillow, help me to breathe at night, and that goes over there on the side of the bed unless I need it during the day. And that's pretty much where we are now, just kind of waiting.
So you still have your liver. I mean, it wouldn't ever be taken out.
You can't live without your liver.
Oh, okay.
It's not like a kidney. A kidney you have two.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, you can't live without your liver. It's actually the largest organ in your body, and it performs thousands and thousands of functions every minute. And I can't give you the exact figure right now. I'm sorry.
So having to go without all those functions, it takes a toll on you.
It does. It is extreme fatigue, extreme weakness, and muscle wasting. Have trouble getting in and out of the car. I don't drive as much. It just depends. I had some problems getting lost, going places that I've always gone. I don't like to admit that too much, but that's very frustrating, and just the brain fog and not being able to think as clearly, and kind of feeling like you're just not quite as sharp as you used to be. It's kind of frustrating.
That's called aging, girlfriend.
Yeah, I'd like to blame it all on aging, I know. But I'm lucky. I have, my husband does a whole lot for me, and we have our church bring us food every week, and my mother-in-law helps a tremendous amount, and it could always be worse. That's just the way I look at it. I feel very fortunate, and I try to stay that way and stay positive. I'm not saying it always works out like that. I have my pity parties, but for the most part, I try to stay as positive as I can, and make the most of every day. Your whole perspective changes,
And to close, tell people where they can go find your blog and submit a story if they want to.
Okay, it's Faces of Hope for Life. You can go to www.facesofhopeforlife.org/. The contest entry is on there, and we're going to run it through May for the Kindle Fire. Like I said, we're trying to increase, to contribute to the Donate Life 20 million in 2012 by at least adding 1,000 donors. That's our goal. I hope we get there. And people have the ability to save 8 lives, but they have the ability to enhance as many as 50 lives. And last year, with only 30% of the population being organ donors, there were over 42,000 site restoring corneal transplants.
Wow.
Which to me is unbelievable.
It's amazing.
I can't imagine receiving the gift of life. The gift of life too, but the gift of sight. Not being able to see and receiving that gift. And I know that everyone who is without sight would not be able to benefit from a corneal transplant. But there are so many thousands of people who would. And tissue donation for burn victims. I mean, there's just so many different people that can be affected by organ transplantation and tissue donation. And I'm an organ donor, and I hardly have any organs at work, but I'm an organ donor because there's just so many people think, oh, I'm sick, or I'm too old. Viable organs have been procured from people as old as 90 years old. And, there's just so much that can be benefited from it. Okay.
Well, thank you, Susan.
Thank you.